I'll briefly demonstrate how to use a digital experiment that models a double pipe heat exchanger. This has counter current flow. The simulation is located on the LearnChemE site, and that location is given here. So if we look at the simulation, the red is the hotter fluid that flows on the pipe side, and then the blue is the colder fluid counter current on the annular side. And the way the experiment is set up is we start with beakers, cold fluid and hot fluid. We can change the opening of the valves, and then we start the pumps. In this case, the pumps are running for this particular snapshot. We can measure the temperature, the outlets. We can calculate rates of heat transfer. And we can also, in this experiment, since there are two types of experiments, we can look at effects of flow rates. We can also look here at flow rates by changing the openings of the valves. So let's look at this simulation. So here's the simulation, so we can adjust the valve openings. And if we start the pumps, we can see the flow. And then we can measure flow rates by using a stopwatch or timer on a phone to record the volume change. And then we can measure the temperature of each of the, and let's move this up so we can see, we can measure the temperature of each of the streams. Hot, it's of course cooled down. This cold, this is the cold feed, and it's gotten hotter. So I'm going to stop the flow and point out that in the simulation, we have directions and details about the experiment. We have a complete worksheet that you can download as a PDF file, and it explains steps to lead through and measurements to make, calculations to carry out to do the full experiment. We can also look at the menu where there's a second type of experiment, so we can reset the beakers. We can go also to the second experiment, which now, and I'll close this so you can see better the second experiment. We're now flowing, and again, let's start the pumps. And now we're measuring the temperature as it's leaving. So notice we're recirculating. We also can change the flow rate by squeezing down on this and see what effect that has on the temperature coming out. So the more details of this are given in the worksheet.